episode. We are now on episode 2 of Unapologetic. This episode is titled Midlife Awakening. And the reason I chose that title is because obviously everybody has heard of a midlife crisis. And I really truly hate that term so much because to me it's not a crisis, it's an awakening. It's a time of your life where you're literally in the middle. You've lived, I would say, probably 35 to 45 years. You only have the same amount left, and so you just wake up one day and you really just open your eyes, take a look at what you've done so far, what you've accomplished, what you've been through to get to where you are, where you want to go, where you want to be, what you want to do. And you just realize that you don't have that much time left. Tomorrow's not promised. And so you are grown enough to make better decisions. You were younger, but you also want to have fun. You want to make the best of it. And so people might call it impulsive or irresponsible. But to me, I think it's just living your best life and doing what you want to do. And if that means buying a $500,000 Lamborghini and dating a 20-year-old girl.
What did he say?
And dating a 20-year-old girl.
She's crazy, right?
Why not? If that means traveling the world, going backpacking in Europe, jumping out of an airplane.
Fall out of the airplane.
Then why not? So to each his own, everybody processes it and does it differently. And there's 100% nothing wrong with that. And my awakening just so happened to come this year. I turned 30. There was a few things that did it, maybe not just this year, maybe it's been the past 9 years, because unfortunately I did lose a lot of friends at a very young age, and that terrified me. That really woke me up. That made me realize that I don't have forever, and so I want to do and see as many things that I can with the time that I have left. And so, yeah, I have made self-care a main priority, self-love a main priority in my life. And that's probably the best thing that I've ever done, because it makes me actually physically take action and do something that makes me happy. And so what I choose to do is have a spa day, a solocation, doing something that I've never done, seeing something that I've never seen, going somewhere I've never been. I'm all about new experiences. Obviously, there's my favorite places that I will choose to visit more than once. And so for those, then I will go back to, because they're just so great. A few of my all-time favorite places is the Monarch Spa, and that's in Black Hawk, Central City. That's literally one of my favorite spas, and I've been to spas almost around the country. I've been to them in Mexico, Miami, Hawaii, Arizona, and so many other places, and it's just, that one is chef's kiss. And I've been to a lot around Colorado as well, since that's where I'm from, but just nothing can compare to Monarch. So
10 out of 10, highly recommend.
For everybody. One of my second favorite places to go and visit numerous times is Ojo Caliente Hot Springs, which is in Ojo Caliente. And you get to pay $75 to reserve your own private hot spring pool with a fireplace, and it's pretty big size. You have a beautiful scenic view of the rocks surrounding it. Or you can choose to be completely alone, or you can have guests. I choose to be completely alone because my solitude is liberating to me. It feels like freedom. That is what I just need. I crave it. I want it. It's peaceful. And so I do that alone, and I get to be...
I actually do cuss a little.
Do you?
Also, yeah.
What's your favorite curse word?
Probably
booty ass naked. And if anybody knows me, you guys know, like, I would probably be a nudist if I could.
Cut the cameras. Dead ass.
And so to be, nude in public in nature without, getting in trouble for it is literally the best thing ever. And if you want to be around people, you can go to
Valley View for that.
That was also quite an experience. And I mean, I probably would go back, but and Monarch are my top two. And Vegas, obviously, I try to go at least once or twice a year. It's usually where I choose to see concerts because most of the time it is cheaper, and some artists don't travel to Colorado all the time, and so sometimes I have to see them in Vegas. But I love it. I love their venues. Most of them are pretty small and intimate, and so that's the kind of setting that I truly enjoy. And with Vegas, there's just so much to do, so much to see. You literally will never be able to see and do everything because they're constantly coming up with new things, giving you more reasons to go. So to me, I say that it's Disneyland for adults.
Right this way. Of course, right behind me, the world famous whippersnapper. Guaranteed to make grown men howl like a cup wolf at weaning time.
And I mean, it's not for everybody. And what's crazy is I don't gamble. That's something I don't choose to do. I don't go to Vegas to gamble, which most people do. That's probably the main purpose for going. But mine is to go to shows, to party, to shop, to eat. Oh, the food there. One of the restaurants that I will always go to is the Asian restaurant in the Aria. I believe it's called Dayumm, I think. I'll try to find it and post it too. But that's one of my favorites. They have the best buns, they're like these chocolate buns, and they're so amazing. Those are like my favorite things. I can probably eat 4 of them, and they're like big. But yeah, there's just some places you have to do more than once. But it is good to try new things, and you have to. I'm not saying everybody needs to, because obviously some people find comfort in the familiar, and that's 100% okay. Like I said, to each his own. Everybody has their preference on what they enjoy, what makes them happy. And like I said, when you come to a certain age, you realize what that is, and you try to make those priorities in your life. It's also okay to wake up and feel uncertain and scared and not know what you want to do, where you want to go, who you want to be. And that's the struggle that I'm actually currently facing right now. I had my job, my career, straight out of high school. I started in the student temporary program, then to the student career program. And then once I got into that, they guaranteed me a job after I graduated. So my career, my path was just given to me on a silver platter, and I didn't have to work to do anything. I just had to earn that degree. I even changed my degree to fit my job a little better. They changed the job description to fit my degree, so they really catered to me. And so I just got really lucky. When I got stuck, I was able to go to another place within the same agency to keep moving up the career ladder. I did finally find somewhere that I didn't want to go anywhere, that I was okay just making a certain amount of money. I was happy, I was comfortable, I was working from home, I was rolling out of bed, logging in, being able
To work but naked.
and so I was happy for a really long time, for the past 5 years, and COVID kind of opened that opportunity for a lot of us. And then now, with the new administration, here we are, uncertain, not knowing what tomorrow holds. And so that to me was way too scary, way too risky, something that I was not willing to stick with. It was not worth it to me. And so I had to resign from my job that I was with for 20 years.
For 20 years.
And it was very sad, it was very scary. I often refer to it as feeling like a divorce, and it was just the emotional roller coaster that I went through. The reason why the job made it easy for me to walk away and not think twice about it is because even though I was happy, even though I was able to work the way I wanted and get everything done at my own pace, I really had to fight for my time off. And it really sucked because I was one of the only people that can do what I did as fast as I could. So they did not want to give me time off because every time they did,
They would drown.
and I would come back to a lot of work. It would take me a week to recover from being off from a day. When I was off for a week, it would take me almost a month. So sometimes it wasn't even worth it. But I needed those days off. I have to have days off. I cannot work like that. I know some people, they live to work, but I would always tell my boss this over and over, and he gets so mad at me that is not me. I work to live. This is just for me to be able to afford my life financially. I don't need this because I'm a hustler. I'm gonna do what I gotta do to survive. So if you guys can't appreciate me and treat me with respect, then I can leave and you guys can drown all the time without me. And I made that known. And so they all kind of knew, they all knew that it was coming. It wasn't a shock. And to me, it truly felt like leaving a toxic relationship that, yeah, I had all these great benefits. I had all these good times. But at the end of the day, like the stress that it caused me and literally made me physically sick to where
I've fallen and I can't get up.
Shut up, Grandma!
didn't get to choose my days off. My body chose that for me. And even with that, they were not willing to give me sick days. These days I earned, I worked for them. They're there for me to use. So for you to not want to let me use them is literally insane to me. So it was easy. They helped me. They put me into too many bad situations where they gave me ultimatums to choose the job or my life. And I told them that my personal life, my physical well-being comes as precedence before the work. And they didn't like that. So guess what? Bye.
Bye, bitch.
I had to do what I had to do. And it sucks because I know for a fact I may not make that much money, but that's when you have to decide if it's worth it. Does money really buy happiness? And so that's where I'm stuck with right now. So this is gonna be a journey for me on me discovering whether or not I'm gonna be a lot more happier without my job, without making that much money, and just hustling to survive. Yeah, it's gonna suck because I got used to having a bougie lifestyle, being able to do whatever I want, whenever I want, without even having to look at my bank account.
I'm a Barbie girl in the Barbie world. Life is plastic, it's fantastic.
Now I'm gonna actually have to be financially responsible, and that's really hard for me. If anybody knows me, they know that I love to splurge. My spa days are
Minimum like $300 to $500.
because most of the time I stay the night on where the spa is. So now I am just gonna have to maybe not do those spa days and maybe create my own spa day with like a nice bath at home.
Don't they know I'm busy spoiling myself?
And maybe a $60 massage at my local therapist. But it's possible. You can still have the things you want, maybe just not the way that you are used to having them. And so that's what I'm gonna be learning this year on how to do. And I'm gonna try to hustle because I honestly
Don't give a shit what the world thinks. I was born a bitch. I was born a painter. I was born fucked.
I'm kidding.
because like I said, my future was handed to me on a silver platter. Never thought that I would have to think of what I want to be when I grow up. My career was set. I was going to retire with the government, but I have minimum like
17 more years and
Damn! I'm sorry.
and be able to be financially stable. And that's a long time. That's almost the same amount of time that I've been with them. So when I think about it, that's a lot of time that I don't know if it's worth it. Obviously, I'm still gonna have that money. It will be available to me when I am at an age to retire. But now, what am I gonna do? Who do I want to be? What is my purpose? What is my calling? I don't know. I'm literally trying to figure that out right now. I would love for it to just talk to you guys and create this content. I would love for it to help and inspire people, and maybe do like TED Talks, maybe write a book. I don't know. So that's what I'm trying to figure out. And is there a career for me that can provide health insurance and a 401k and benefits that I can still do what I like to do? I think it's so important, and most people don't ever find something that they truly love and enjoy waking up to every day and going to. And I really, really want to take this time that I'm still getting paid for my job to figure that out. So I'm really hoping I do.
So pray for me.
Going back to COVID, on how that kind of was an awakening for me too, is everything was shut down. Everything that I like to do, going out, partying, hitting up the bars and the clubs.
Fantasy, my own little nasty world. Tonight, don't you wanna come with me? Do you think I'm a nasty girl?
Was shut down. We couldn't do that. And so once it stopped, it kind of woke me up like, I'm literally almost 35. I don't know if I should be doing those things anymore. Maybe it's time for me to grow up a little bit. Maybe it's time for me to kind of retire from the party life and find something else. And I did. I ended up coming to a small town where my parents live, and I spent 2 months of COVID there. And it really woke me up on what's truly important in life, and that's your family.
We are family. I got all my sisters with me.
With your family, you can get through anything and everything. They're your tribe, they're your support system. And without them, like, I don't know where I would be. And I hope that I never have to imagine that. And so I'm just so blessed, I'm so grateful. And it showed me that living in a small town was so peaceful and so calm. And I was ready for that slow paced life, because back in the city, it was just way too chaotic. There's way too many people. It's so overcrowded. You can barely move wherever you go. There's lines everywhere. It was just not a good time anymore. I was too old and too tired to deal and put up with that mess. And so coming to the small town was like, this is the life that I want. This is the life that I crave. This is the life that I need. And I didn't know if that was possible for me with my job. I spoke to them about it, and since I was a full-time remote, they said that I could move. And so I was so blessed and grateful that they were able to do that for me so that I can keep my job and go wherever I want. I obviously didn't do it alone. I followed my parents. They're the ones that made the first move to move here, to come back from living in the city. And so I needed them. I depend on them a lot. They're my village, like I said in my first episode. And so I don't think I would have done it without them. And I'm just glad that I have them. And I'm glad that my dad was able to find me an affordable place for me to live and be able to continue to have my lifestyle that I've been. And that's why I know I'll be okay. No matter what happens, I will be okay. Some things that get me through just everyday struggles and everyday life is I truly do believe in words of affirmation, having your own mantra and speaking that to yourself, looking yourself in the mirror, speaking out to the universe. Mine that I say every day, I am blessed and I am protected. I am grateful, and please grant me prosperity, success, and abundance. And so far I have had the most beautiful, most abundant life and I can never ask for anything more. I just enjoy it so much, and I pray that it doesn't have to change based off my income. I'm hoping that I can keep this beautiful, abundant, prosperous, peaceful, calm life that I've been enjoying so far these past 5 years. Obviously, I do have more goals. I do have more dreams. Like I said, I would love to write a book. I would love to do forums, stuff like that. But I don't know if I can speak in public. Believe it or not, I know a lot of you guys think I'm super outgoing. When it comes to public speaking, when I talk, my voice shakes. Like, it sounds I'm literally gonna be on the verge of tears. So I don't know, that would be something I would have to overcome for sure. But we'll see. We'll see if I make it that far. But one of my main goals is I want to buy some land where I live that I do have a beautiful mountain view. I want to get a little closer to the mountain view and maybe not be so accessible. I want to be able for you to have to drive on a dirt road in order to find me and get to me, not just right off the highway like I am now. I want to have my own sanctuary, my own safe place. I just really want to build a barndominium that I create, and that's everything that I want. That's just one of my main goals and dreams in life. The biggest goal and dream in life is to raise my son to be an amazing man, husband, and father. And if I have done that, I believe that I have accomplished everything that I needed to in this life. I am just so proud of my bonus son. He's 27. I've known him since he was born. I was a part of his life as his stepmother probably since he was like 8 or 9. And I just love our relationship that we have. We're still super close. He has 2 sons. Both of them call me
Glamma.
And so I'm their Glamma. And they will correct you if you call me Grandma. And so I know that he turned out to be an amazing person. I'm just so, so proud of him. Words can never explain how proud I am of him. I try to express that and tell him every chance that I get, because he didn't have the easiest life growing up, but I tried so hard to give him stability. And I just love that he turned out on who he is. So I don't believe in generational curses, and that's actually going to be a part of one of my episodes as well. And he is living proof of that. My mother's living proof of that. And so I tell my son every day, you do not have an excuse to not be a good man, because you have your brother to look up to and my brother, and that's all you need. And I have my dad teaching him how to do manly things, to hunt, to fish, to fix cars, to be a man.
I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
That's too damn bad! You keep digging!
Well, excuse me.
Thank me one day.
Because I can't. And so without them, it just wouldn't be possible. So that is also part of my village and part of my tribe that's going to help me accomplish the goals that I need to create an amazing human being. And so far, we've been through so much, but that's also going to be on a separate episode. So I'm not going to dive into that too much, but I'm just so proud of who he is now. And I pray that nothing changes kind, sweet, beautiful soul. One of the other things that also helped me get through my everyday struggles in life, just thinking of scenarios that could be worse than what is actually happening. And where I actually learned that from was a guy that I kind of dated in college. And I don't even know how it came up, what I said, what my princess crybaby ass was talking about, because that's what I was. I've been that my whole life.
I am a silver platter, silver spoon, princess fed girl.
And when things don't go my way, I am very dramatic. I throw a fit. And so he really humbled me. I needed him in my life to teach me how to not be that person. And I'm so grateful for him. I hope he's doing well. But I'm so glad that he taught me, like,
Okay, Dayumm, well, really think about this. Is that really a big deal? Like, are you gonna die?
like, Mr. Chung on, is that his name from The Hangover? Mr. Lee, you know what I'm talking about.
I was having a bad day.
Oh, you're having a bad day? Did you die?
I got shot.
But did you die?
Ciao.
But he would like literally say,
it can always be worse. You're gonna be okay. You're gonna get through this.
and so that kind of just stuck with me throughout my life in the back of my head when I would encounter these, I would like to say, series of misunfortunate events. And me and my sister joke and we say that my mom's mom cursed us.
Escucha las palabras de las brujas, los secretos escondidos en la noche, los antiguos dioses invocamos ahora.
But in reality, that's not what it is. It's just fun to, you know, kind of think about and ease your mind off it. It's just kind of like a coping mechanism, I guess you can say. The first horrible things that happened to me was my divorce. But when I thought about it, I had multiple red flags.
So you met him in February, and in March he needed money.
Yes.
Okay. Ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling. That's a bill.
From the universe telling me that this is not it. This is not for you. This is not your person. This is not your soulmate. You do not love him. You are doing this out of comfort because I've known him since I was 12 years old. I grew up with him. He was always the older, hotter brother.
I made the wrong choice.
All my family and friends like to call me Rosie from La Bamba. So if you know the reference, then you just know.
You are not like I expected. I don't have a life here. You're always gone. Do you think I like being here alone?
And yes, that is me. I will admit to that. And so I definitely did not make the best choice when it came to choosing a partner. I just feel like I was too young. I was literally only 20 when we started dating, 22 when we got married. Everything happened so fast. Because we felt like we known each other our whole lives, because it was a pretty big chunk of our lives that we knew each other. And I think we just wanted the fairy tale and the story of growing up together and having our family be family and always been family type thing. And what's great and what I'm so fortunate about, it is still that way even after our separation. His family still treats me like family, and I'm still invited to everything. And so he chose to ruin that. And I don't have any animosity towards him because I do take responsibility for ignoring all of the red flags. God knew that wasn't enough. And so he gave me a child. He blessed me with my beautiful boy, and he gave me the strength that I needed to move on, because he made me awake on realizing and seeing this is not the life that I want to give my son. This is not the life I want him to see. And I will refuse to let this man that's his father show him that that's what it is like to be a father. I'm not going to do that. And so I needed him. I needed him to move on and to leave that relationship, because if I didn't have him, I truly do believe that I would probably play his game forever. And I would be okay with the toxicity.
Because it was fun.
Maybe a little. So having a son really made me realize that this is not okay. I cannot show him that this is what love is. Right before I did leave him, we were trying to get pregnant with our second child. And so we tried for 6 months and it wasn't happening. And I believe that was a blessing from the universe, because I also believe that if we did have 2 children together, I don't think I could have left him. It would have been a lot harder and I would have depended on him a lot more. And so I believe that happened for a reason too. I am truly sad and I really hate that my son has the father that he does.
I mean, it could always be worse.
Right? Like I say, it could. And he's not horrible. He's just not as consistent as I would have liked him to be. And maybe not the best role model. But like I said, he has other ones. That's not an excuse. He can't use that. He can't use his dad as an excuse to not be a good person. I will not allow him to. I think I just needed that to realize that I deserve more. I deserve better. My son does. My son is actually what kept me out of settling for all these 10 years. I've got very close to, I like to call them
Questionable situationships.
But there was a lot of things that just, you know, didn't go the way it was supposed to. I gave a lot of people a lot of chances. When people talk a lot of talk, but when I tell them to put their words into action, then they become cowards. And I want the type of man that is aggressive and he knows exactly what he wants and he's willing to do whatever it takes to get it. Because I believe I'm an amazing partner. You have to be at least on my level to be able to get with me. And what these men don't realize is they're not competing with other men. They're competing with the feeling that I get from my solitude, from my freedom, from feeling liberated. If you can't do more for me than I can do for me, then...
What is your purpose?
My son is my backbone. He is what keeps me strong. He is what makes me wake up every day and fight and give him the best life that I can. And he has been so spoiled. He has traveled and seen more places than most grown-ups, more than his dad, 100%. So more than most people. And he is grateful for that, and I'm glad that he is. He's not just a spoiled brat. I made sure that he realizes that he is blessed to have this life. One of the other things that happened to me is I literally bought a brand new Jeep Cherokee. I literally had it for
3 months.
And some girl ran a red light and T-boned me and totaled it out. In the arms of the angel. Thank God I had gap insurance, but I didn't go and get a new car. I took that as a sign.
Like, maybe I shouldn't have this brand new car that I can't afford the monthly payments on.
And when I have this perfectly good, functionable car that I've had for so long. And so with that, I decided that was a lesson learned, that I would have been drowning and living paycheck to paycheck trying to make those payments. And so I just ended up keeping the car that I had. So that was kind of, it could always be worse type of situation that happened.
Another one, for some reason it's always cars, tell me why.
And other people totaling my stuff out.
I put cash down, paying $8,000 for a Nissan Murano, because I wanted all-wheel drive, driving back and forth between the mountains from the city to where I live. And I had it for 1 year. The transmission went out. I had to get a loan to pay to fix it, which was $7,000, almost as much as I paid for the car. And not even 4 months later, another person
T-boned me
and blew out my axle. And that got totaled out, and I ended up getting $3,000 for it, and I'm still paying on that loan. So that lesson was a really hard one to bite the bullet on and ask,
Why? What was this purpose?
So what I said that it could always be worse for is that something else could happen. The engine could have blown out where I wouldn't have got any money for it to be totaled out. So at least I got a little chump change compared to what I invested in it. After that, I learned my lesson to not buy cars that you pay off and spend more than what it's worth. And now I have a Chevy Equinox. So far it's been trucking pretty good. I better knock on something. I pray that it stays that way because I really cannot afford another payment. So let's just pray that my car karma has came to an end. And that's one other thing I truly believe in is karma. 100%. I believe that the universe is constantly working in your favor if you put in positive energy and do positive things, or in a good, kind person and have a good, pure heart. I truly do believe that the universe will work in your favor. If you're a bad person, if you're a negative person, then that's when karma comes into play. And so obviously nobody's perfect. Obviously people are gonna get their little taste, but that's part of the awakening. Opening your eyes, realizing what you did to deserve it. Want to change and not have that. So far, my life has been good since I have taken accountability for all of my actions prior to having this beautiful, prosperous, abundant life. I just pray that everybody has a midlife awakening, not a crisis, an awakening. It is truly a blessing to just, really sit down and realize who you are, who you want to be, what you've gotten through, what you overcome to get to where you are today. And I always say that you should always leave the past in the past and always just be looking towards your future and living in the present. So I hope that's what you guys learned from this today, even with all my tangents going 50 million directions.
What's his name? I got nothing on a name. Come on, baby, what's the name? We threw out his name!
My next episode is gonna be about that. It's called Accepting My Chaos, which I don't know if you figured it out yet or not, but I am 100% ADHD. I will talk about 50 million different subjects, but I always kind of bring it back and reel it back in to what the purpose of what I'm saying is. So I hope you guys are following. I hope you guys can keep up with me because it's definitely gonna be a ride. If you guys believe that you are ready, wanting, and willing to confront and have your midlife awakening, and you want to claim a beautiful, prosperous, abundant life,
Let's drop those prayer hand emojis.
What? Oh. Okay.